It's okay, you can. It's not that serious, but okay. What? Where? Finish. Obviously, Jews. So let's see what Tim says. Everybody know. YouTube.com/basement plus. For the Hasidim Eretz Yisrael. For the whole council.
Okay. Today is the last day prior to Yom Kippur. We've been going through different halachas. Today I'm going to go through the halachas that most people don't get to. The ne'ilah that we have. So how does ne'ilah work exactly? Tfilas ne'ilah oimrim Ashrei v'Otziyah. We start ne'ilah with saying Ashrei v'Otziyah. The Kaddish. And there's a Kaddish before the Shemoneh Esrei. Bizman tfilas ne'ilah. When does the ne'ilah take place? Basically the Shemoneh Esrei. Kisha'achama b'rosh ha'lonos. When the sun is at the top of the trees, that means towards getting closer to sunset. In order that you should be able to finish by sundown, which is meaning over here when the stars come out. You can go even into the night. We start by Tzeisek Rechovin, usually. That's when we call the Shofar. That's what it is. Even if you're a private individual davening in your home, ne'ilah, you can stretch your ne'ilah until the evening if that's what your will is. Most of the world does it by Tzeisek Rechovin. Now, what is this all about? Sheninu b'Yishalmi. There's a Yishalmi in the Sechta Brachis that makes a statement. Minayim l'ne'ilah. What exactly is ne'ilah all about? Is Amar of Levi. Ki sirbu tefillah mikan shekol amarba b'tefillah neneloi. That ne'ilah, it says you should add to tefillah. So we learn from here that anybody who adds tefillas, you'll be answered, his praise will be answered. Emisaihu ne'ilah. So when is ne'ilah? The Rishalmi asks. Is Rab of min Shar Shamayim, by the closing of the gates of heaven. That it's by the closing of the gates of the Heichel, the sanctuary. What is that? That's the beginning of the night. But Yil Shar Heichel have b'yoyim Samach l'Shkiya. They close the Heichel a little bit earlier, around sundown, right prior to sundown. Yishan made the right of Yochim Vasnisi from Mishnah. B'shuv Farach Al Rav Atz Mishay V'spel Ne'ilah Kisha Shemesh Roisha Arlonis. And they asked, how could Rav say that it was later when you start Ne'ilah? He started when the trees were above, by the top of the tree, when the sun was at the top of the trees. Even though he started that time, he ended much later because he did a lengthy tefillah of Ne'ilah. So, right now, it's very, very vague. The top of the trees, and to stretch it out. What exactly is this Ne'ilah all about? The time zone. It's for Kosev HaTur. The Tur writes, Tfilas Ne'ilah V'zman HaSamach L'Shkiyas HaChama, that the time to say Ne'ilah is close to sundown. K'sha'acham b'reish halon is when the sun is already at the top of the trees. You shouldn't daven Ne'ilah at night, meaning way into the night. Around the time of sunset. You should be able to finish it when the stars come out. That's when we do it. It's really the Gamar of Yechon Hod. It's really Shigorim Samach Shkiyas Achama Kavana Usamach L'Soif Shkiyas. It's the end of Shkiyah. The Hainut Seis HaKachovim. When the stars come out, like we start. Anybody knows I'm a man of time on the clock. It starts a good around 20-25 minutes before Shkiyah. So when the stars, when it's already the sun at the top of the trees, and we go on the clock to close to Shkiyas Achama. Usually we do it around, so we should be able to finish by 72, around 55, 58 minutes we'll be blowing shofar. That's how it works by us. Because of Sha'af al Gav Sha'aran, Barosh Kosu B'Shem Arif, Shepasi Karav, that you can do it even further later. Bahei Maviyu Sha'aran, Merutenberg, Pasi Kav Yechon, Pasi Kav Yechon. Starting time is before sundown. Chenu Mashmois Rambam, Shekos Perik Alf Tefillah. Because the Rambam also writes in the first parak of Tefillah, Tefillah's Ne'ilas Mana, Ad Shiyah Yashlamai Samach Shkiyas Achama, meaning the second Shkiyah, where it's Samach, let's say Sakachovim, Ad Kam, Chen Kosev Al Mordechai, Vagois Manya. Okay, so right now, if you look at it at first blush, the way we do it is the way it's brought down till here. In the Torah, Shulchan Aruch, that it's at the top of the trees, you get a long tefillah of Ne'ilah, and it ends Samach L'Shkiyas Achama, close to when the stars are coming out. Achabach Kosev, the Bach writes differently. He writes, the Vada of Yechon Sarach Ligman Ne'ilah B'Yoy Mamish V'Loi B'Seis Kachov. He holds you gotta end by sunset. Atur Shekosu Shigoyim B'Seis Kachov Ma'inu Mishon Sri Karav. He holds like Rav, that you start even later. Tam Kishaninu B'Yuma, because we have over here Gemara Masech Yuma. What does the Gemara Masech Yuma say? Amar Rav, Tfilas Ne'ilah Paiteris Eshel Arvis. That you can use Ne'ilah because Ne'ilah technically is an extra tefillah of the day. So you can create, if you daven late enough Ne'ilah, it takes the place of Ma'ariv. Rav L'tamei Da'ametz Lusi Seirihi. It's like an extra tefillah. Once you pray Ne'ilah Sulei Tzarok, you don't have to do it because you can't. We count that vis-a-vis the Ma'ariv. We'll preach Rashi, and this is what Rashi explains over there in Masech Yuma. Shekibin Shespal B'Meshach HaShecha. Once you davened Ne'ilah at night, once it at dark, when it's dark, ain't sorach lachsul spalaris. You don't have to daven Ma'ariv. Maskin shuput and tanoi, and the Gemara comes out there. It's machlokes tanoim. But Chacham Svirle that these Chachamim hold the paiteris shalaris. It takes off the burden of davening Ma'ariv. Mustama kaimel Chachamim, and this is according to the Chachamim, and that's what our opinion is. In Cain al korach the hilchas karav, we hold like Rav. Is del das rib shabas karav shichoyim lam shachad halayla. You can go way into the night because, as far as we're concerned, for all intents and purposes, this ne'ilah is replacing Ma'ariv, and you can go into the night. Yeshloim shigam das harosh came. That the Rosh also is like that. Shehevi das harif b'stom el shakach kosev. V'ram posik the lesilchus ikarav v'tfilis ne'ilah ein peter shalaris. The Ram holds on like that. But you got to be Yisham because of Yisri Yishami that we learned previously, that it starts before sundown. You can't have Ma'ariv before, you shouldn't have Ma'ariv, especially on Kippur before Ma'ariv, before sundown, and therefore it won't be going according to the Yishami. L'maisa ein Ashami stir l'psak harif. He stopped at the Talmud of the Don Karav. Our Talmud, meaning Bavli, is like Rav. L'chein avagav sha'Rambam ma'Ram kam g'dor ma'cherim shuvu ba'gois ma'im nisim modcha. Bring down behema rois relay the Gemara. Tios nil tzarch yisboy dayoy godul b'ayim k'shacham roish elonois davis lama l'shi yisachana that you finish prior to sundown. V'lokim godul amini b'chol Yisrael shenahag karav shegoyim atfila b'layla. We end the tefillah at night. Levadehem a river roshlis machaleim shalei levatel haminig al kalponim mitzvah and amuk chalas will be yoyim. We should start by day. They shid ma tefillah tiyev bizman says kachovim b'shas chos nil shar shemayim when it ends. Which is again, there's a question here: is it by day or is it by night? And the way we said before was like with Rabbi Yochanan, that you go ahead from the end of the day when the trees at the top of when the sun is at the top of the trees, and you go into close to sundown, which we do as well. He says now, Shulchan Aruch Siman Torah of Gimel Siman Beis, Kosev HaMechaba. The Shulchan Aruch, when he writes it, this is all Rishonim that we had till now. Is it Rav Yochanan? Is it Rav? Now we go to the Shulchan Aruch. Next step. We're talking about the Torah, the Bach, Rutenberg, the Rosh, the Ran, the Rif. Each one has their day of who the Paskin like. You go according to the Yishalmi, you go according to the Bavli. Is it night? Is it day? Shulchan Aruch writes, Kosev HaMechaba. Zeman tfilas nila k'shachama b'rosh alonos k'dei she'yishyash l'moisa tzavach l'shkiyas ha'chamba v'tzarach she'yitziv l'katz v'slichus v'psukim she'be'emsa ha'tfilah v'gam ein limshoich b'tfilas nila kol tei v'tei v'k'derech she'moich b'shar ha'tfilas yeshimar koydim she'yis ha'chamba. It's mashma. You gotta get a finish right away, prior to sundown. It means by sundown. That means we're stretching it. We can go and finish Ne'ilah by sundown and call it a day and relax. Okay, you won't be able to do it fast, but you can relax. That why wasn't the Ramah saying that the Torah is mashma that you finish by Tzeis HaKachavim like we do? It's a mistake because what he means to say the Taz is saying that it's before sundown. It's not before sundown. It's close to Shkias Chama, and it's Soiv Ashkiya. She would say it's like a problem. Kamash Kos Latoisis. I be Shoyis to Sim and Tovkav Samach Beis Akan behind the Katur. So it comes out over here that it's a whole question over here. What does it mean? Says the key over here seems to be what is Seisek Chavim? Is it the regular what we call what is Shkias Achama? Is it Shkias Achama like what we call Shkia, sundown, or Shkias Achama means Soif Shkias Achama, which means right before the two stars come out. If you hold that Samach Shkias Acham means right by when the stars come out, we understand why the Ramah didn't dispute it. That's what the Kippur Megadim holds also. Our minig is, our tradition is, as we all know, that it goes, stretches into the night, and limchus b'yom, serving karif, rosh, achsar klizola hasku b'oida yendod. We start when it's day, at the top of the trees, and we end when it comes to the time when the stars are about to come out. It's going to come out. At the back holds, you go even way into the Tzeitzik B'chov. What's called Chaschos near Shemayim? When the stars come out. So basically, at the end of the day, we're going to see soon, we start early and we end late. Medina, according to Halacha, Halavush, B'Shulchan Aruch Harav, B'Chaya Odom, B'Derech HaChayim, B'Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, U'Mishnah Berurah Kosev K'Magen Avram, the Das HaMachaber K'Atush is the sign in Seisek Chavim. You end the Elah by the second Shkia, quote unquote, which is by when the stars come out. If someone wants to daven a longer one, you shouldn't protest. The best thing is to end when the stars are when the stars come out. And Reb Shmuel holds shenahagim ledaktik b'zeh. If you want to go even later, that's your business. He doesn't have the length of the tzibur and the tzibur. If someone wants to daven longer, you can go ahead and do it gesundheit. But this is where the Makar is. What's the big problem of this? We don't have time for this. I was going to go into it. Let's say quickly, is duchen. Here in America, we duchen. I don't know if most places in America, chutzlarts don't duchen because it's after Shkia. Right? You don't know, because you never were in any other place. Kosev HaMachaber, Noisim Kapayim Ben Ilu, Kosev Ramosh HaMinig when this El Shaloi Lisa Kapayim. Ramah writes not to, even though we don't do it, we say Elokeinu Elokeinu Seir B'Chayin Brachim Sim Shalom Shapa Oyim Afilim Hu Laila Kivin Shis Aschilas HaTfilah Hayu B'Yoyim. Since the Tfilah was by Yoyim. Now, The Kosim Hamogin Avram the Komokim Oimel Kenu V'Cheinu B'Zein Peidah. L'Huva Mat Ephraim V'Ois B'Shem Gamkin Sim Sholem. Afil Nimshach Ad Alayla. You don't say Shalom Rov like by Minig Ashkenaz. But at the end of the day, there are those that try to do it a little bit earlier because of this. I don't think the Koil, I'm not sure, there's nobody here from the Koil, who davens at the Koil. But I don't think these other people do they say Al-Kanim like I was saying. What? No, I don't know. It means by day. That's what I think. I can tell you in Panovich they did it earlier because they a little bit after Shkia, but it was earlier. And by the Litvisha, they went ahead and they said every single one of the Bina Malkanims because they had to stretch it out. That's Yisrael, right? Because they do by all the Shmoyne Esrei. But it's not so simple. There's another time when they don't say Duchin. By Tana Sibba, they Duchin by Mincha.
We do in this show?
We don't do them by Mincha. I said in Eretz Yisrael. But a lot of minyanim by entire Sibba don't Duchin by Mincha if it's Mincha Gedolah, right?
Yeah.
They will only do it by Mincha Kitana, not by Mincha Gedolah. I can't hear you. What? No, but Yishlayim also. They do it, but there's some that don't do it. I once went to Rav Ozen and they didn't do it. Because Rav Ozen's from Bnei Brak. Okay. But in Chutz La'aretz, I don't think. Last is truly. Ne'ilah by Young Israel. Do they do him by Ne'ilah? No, Chassidim.
Eretz Yisrael.
Chassidim. Eretz Yisrael and Boston are Chassidim. That's it.
In Eretz Yisrael, they race through the Ne'ilah because they want to do for Shkia. And the last little bit takes 30, 40 minutes.
I told them that. I gave them the low down on this. They still 20 minutes after Shkia. They do it in the Panovich. It was after Shkia.
They race through.
Chanani ben Akashar is brought down to Israel.